Before you watch this, just look down at the keyboard for a second. Not the screen, not what you're typing, just the keys. You have used this every single day. Your fingers move across it without thinking. It feels natural, automatic, almost invisible. And yet, you never really question it. Why are the letters arranged like that? Why does it start with QWERTY? Why does something you use so often make so little sense? Because what if I told you this wasn't designed to help you type faster? It was designed to slow you down. Welcome to Histify, where we take the most ordinary things and uncover the hidden stories behind them. If you enjoy content that makes you pause, question what feels normal, and see everyday things in a completely different way, then take a second to like this video, share it with someone who types all day but never noticed this, and the comments tell me, did you ever question your keyboard before this? And don't forget to subscribe, because once you start noticing these things, you can't unsee them. Now, let's take a closer look at something you have been using for your whole life but never truly understood. Right now, without overthinking it, you just look at your keyboard. Not the screen, not the words you're typing, just the keys. You have used this every day, for hours, sometimes without even noticing. Your fingers move across it automatically, almost like they already know where everything is. And yet, you have never really looked at it. The letters aren't in alphabetical order. They're scattered, uneven, almost random. Q, W, E, R, T, Y. It doesn't follow any clear pattern, no obvious logic, and still, you accept it. You adapted to it, you learned to it, you stopped questioning it. But if you look at it now, really look at it, a simple question begins to form. Why is it arranged like this? The strange thing about familiarity is how quickly it turns into truth. Something repeated enough times begin to feel right. Not because it is right, but because it is known. You don't question the keyboard because you have used it for so long. Your hands recognize it. Your mind trusts it. It feels natural, but natural is not the same as logic. Because if you're seeing this layout for the first time today, if no one had ever taught you how to use it, it wouldn't make sense. Not immediately, maybe not at all. And yet, millions of people use it every single day without hesitation. Because once something becomes standard, it stops being examined. And when it stops being examined, it starts to feel correct. To understand this, you have to go back to a very different time. Before laptops, before touch screens, before digital anything, back to typewriters, heavy machines, mechanical, physical. Each key was connected to a metal arm. And when you pressed it, the arm would strike a ribbon and imprint a letter onto paper. It was a process you could feel. Every word had weight behind it. But there was a problem. When people typed too fast, certain keys, especially ones placed close together, would cause those metal arms to collide. They would jam, stick, tangle together in a frustrating mess. And suddenly, speed became a problem, not an advantage. So designers faced a challenge. Not how to make typing faster, but how to make it manageable. The solution was subtle but powerful. They rearranged the keys, not to improve efficiency, but to make it intuitive, but to slow it down. Commonly used letters were placed farther apart. Certain combinations were separated. The layout was designed to reduce collision by reducing speed. And that arrangement, QWERTY, became a standard. Think about that for a moment. The system you use every day, was not designed to help you type faster. It was designed to hold you back. So here's where it gets interesting because that problem doesn't exist anymore. There are no metal arms, no mechanical jams, no physical limitation. And over time, people have created better layouts, more efficient ones, more logical ones, designed specifically for speed and ease. So the question becomes, why didn't we switch? Why are we still using something that was designed for a problem we no longer have? The answer isn't simple because it's not about design anymore. It's about systems. When something becomes widely adopted, it creates a kind of momentum. People learn it, schools teach it, workplaces expect it. Changing it doesn't just mean replacing a layout, it means unlearning, relearning, adjusting millions of people at once. And that cost is often higher than the benefit. So instead of switching to something better, we stay with something familiar, not because it's optional, but because it's already everywhere. And that's where this stops being about a keyboard. Because once you see this, you start to notice it elsewhere. Systems, habits, structures. Things that exist not because they are the best, but because they were the first to spread. We inherit patterns, we adapt to them, and over time we stop questioning them. Not because they make sense, but because they feel normal. So now, go back to your keyboard. Look at it again. Nothing about it has changed. The keys are still in the same place. Your fingers still know where to go. But something is different. Because now you know this wasn't designed for you. Naturally, it was designed for a machine that no longer exists. And yet it stayed, quietly, permanently, becoming something you use every day without ever questioning why. So the next time you sit down to type and your fingers begin to move without thinking, pause. Just for a moment, because sometimes the most familiar things in your life carry stories you have never noticed. And once you see them, don't see them the same way again. If this made you look at something ordinary in a different way, you can like this video so more people discover this hidden details. Share it with someone who types every day without thinking about it. And subscribe to Hastofa. Because there are many more things around you that feel normal. They have a story you have never questioned. And the next time might be right in front of you.